This NBA season may only be less than a month underway, but it's clear that some teams aren't what we expected them to be, for better or worse. So while anything can still happen, here are some of the biggest underachievers and overachievers this season. Of course, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos if you're new. When it comes to underachieving teams, the Brooklyn Nets have to be atop everyone's list. While Kevin Durant has been sensational, averaging 32.6 points, 4.1 assists, and 5.1 rebounds, it's not hyperbolic to say everything else has gone wrong. Ben Simmons has struggled to score the ball or defend in his limited return to play and is already injured. Kyrie Irving's toxicity has reached new levels, and there's a real chance he never plays for the team again. The Nets are 13th in the East with a 2-6 record, which includes an unforgivable loss to the tanking Pacers. This team entered the season with some real optimism and championship aspirations, and now respected NBA analysts and media are calling them to blow it up. The Los Angeles Clippers were universally considered one of the truly elite title contenders this offseason. With Kawhi Leonard and Paul George finally healthy and the much-needed addition of John Wall, this looked like it could finally be the Clippers' year. Well, through 7 games, the Clips are 11th in the West with a 3-4 record and suffered back-to-back losses to the lowly Thunder. The biggest issue behind their struggles is that Kawhi Leonard hasn't been as healthy as advertised. Leonard appeared in the first 2 games of the season and hasn't played since. PG-13 has performed admirably, including dropping 35-9-8 against the Rockets, but without Leonard, this team isn't going to come anywhere close to their preseason projection of 52 wins. The Miami Heat are consistently one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and while we know better than to write them off, it's hard not to see them as underachievers to begin the year. The Heat are 12th in the East with a record of 3-5, including just 1-3 within the conference. Hero, the reigning 6th man of the year, has been a bright spot for the Heat, but the rest of the core simply hasn't lived up to their lofty standards. Most notably, Kyle Lowry. Lowry shooting 37% from the field over his first 8 games, which is a significant drop-off from last season's average of 44% and is likely to improve. With a strong team effort and a win over the Warriors, things are trending in the right direction for the Miami Heat. If Adebayo can continue to stay aggressive around the basket and Lowry can re-find his shooting stroke, the Heat will go right back to being the team you dread having to play. Like the Heat, you'd be foolish to count out the Golden State Warriors out, but their first 8 games definitely haven't gone according to plan. They're currently 12th in the West with a 3-5 record and just 2-2 within the conference. Like a lot of other teams on the underachievers list, they have a few bad losses on their record, with notable upsets by the Hornets and Pistons. But after running back most of the same squad from last year's title team, the expectations of this Warriors team are championship or bust. Steph Curry certainly got the memo and has been averaging 31 points, 5.6 assists, and 6.7 rebounds per game. The biggest difference between this year and last might be the play of Klay Thompson. Not only was Klay ejected for the first time in his illustrious career, but Klay is averaging 13.3 points per game, down from 20.4 points the previous season. This team has no shortage of championship pedigree, and while things are a little rocky right now, they'll be back in the mix before you know it. Now for a little positivity. There have been quite a few teams whose starts to the year have been downright shocking. At the top of that list are 2 teams who desperately don't want to be overachieving: the Utah Jazz and the San Antonio Spurs. The Jazz shipped off 2 of their best players this offseason for a mountain of draft assets, and not only to build for the future, but to be bad in the present and get a better shot at the once-in-a-generational talent, Victor Wembanyama. But apparently no one told the rest of the team, because the Jazz are currently 3rd in the stacked Western Conference with a 6-2 record. They beat the frisky Pelicans and toppled the Timberwolves in what should have been Rudy Gobert's revenge game. Ainge surely didn't anticipate veterans like Jordan Clarkson and Kelly Olynyk, and most impressively, Lauri Markkanen, to be this good. Markkanen is averaging a whopping 21.7 points, 9.3 boards, and 2.9 assists per game, which is currently 3 more points per game than his career best. There's no chance this version of the Jazz will be the same one that finishes the season, but for now, it's hard not to be impressed. Like the Jazz, the Spurs have also embraced a rebuild when they traded DeJounte Murray and his bargain contract for future assets. Pop himself even told reporters not to bet on this team to make the finals, and yet they're 4th in the West with a 5-2 record. This lineup is also subject to change by the trade deadline, but one name who won't be going anywhere is Keldon Johnson. Johnson is averaging 23.9 points, 4.1 assists, and 5.4 rebounds per game. Having only just turned 23, Johnson is a bright spot for the Spurs team and a big reason why they've overachieved so far. The Portland Trail Blazers are not a team that anyone expected to tank, but weren't expected to make the playoffs either, and yet they currently sit second in the West with a 5-1 record. A lot of that has been due to the sensational play of Damian Lillard, who's averaged 31 points, 4.6 assists, and 4.8 rebounds. Unfortunately, Dame is expected to miss a few weeks as he recovers from a calf injury, and while that is a big blow to the team, Anthony Simmons has shown he's ready to take on the additional workload. During a recent matchup against the Nuggets, Simmons caught fire from beyond the arc and scored 22 points in the third quarter, including 6 3-pointers in just 6 minutes. If Dame can get healthy, this team has a real shot at smashing their 43-win projection. Last, but certainly not least, is the Cleveland Cavaliers. The second-place Cavs are 5-1 and are playing some truly inspired basketball at both ends of the court. They may have stunned everyone by prying Donovan Mitchell out of Utah, but judging by his 32.2 points, 7.3 assists, and 4.5 rebounds per game, it's clear Cleveland was the best fit for him. Again, no one thought that the Cavs would be bad, but it's worth noting that most projections had 4 other Eastern Conference teams projected ahead of them, and so far they only trailed the undefeated Bucks. This team was supposed to be a real threat in a few years, but if they're this good now, the rest of the league should be terrified. And those are our biggest over and underachievers so far. Did we get any wrong? Let us know in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, and of course, subscribe for more videos if you're new.